Hello and welcome to this OpticalLock training video. Today we will discuss the lock settings and the wireless settings screens in the management portal. We will review what settings are needed for you to configure your lock and get it up and running. Let's start by navigating to the lock settings page. From the sidebar, click the Lock Management button and then select Lock Settings. First, we choose our lock by clicking the drop-down menu or typing in your lock number. We can perform bulk edits by selecting multiple locks. Now let's go over each setting available to configure your lock. The first is nickname. Here you can assign an optional nickname to your lock. This will help you to identify it with a friendly name. Authorization code is preset at the factory with a 6-digit alphanumeric value. This is used to set the wireless credentials in the field via NFC. If you would like to change it, you can do that here. Reporting interval determines when your lock will report its data. Here you can select an interval to meet your needs. The default for the lock is 60 minutes. Choose a shorter interval to receive data more often, or a longer interval which will save battery life. Minimum reporting interval is 10 minutes. For a high reporting frequency, set the timer to every 4 hours. In this case, the battery life is expected to last 2 months. For a battery savings mode, set this interval to every 24 hours, and the battery is expected to last approximately 8 months. Lock combination is listed here for your information only. This will not change the combination of your lock because changing the combination is a physical process on the lock hardware using the process in the user manual. Enable notifications. This will enable or disable text and email notifications for this lock. Notifications will, however, still appear in the Management Portal home screen. Authorize to open. By default, the lock is shipped with this setting on. On means that you can open and close the shackle of your lock. Once you set Authorize to open to off, the lock is armed and any opening of the shackle will trigger alarms and send the lock into tracking mode. Enable geofence. This will enable or disable all geofence alerts for this lock. Geofence functionality requires setup of at least one geofence on the Maps, Geofence Setup and Manage page. This topic will be covered in detail in another video. Tracking mode. If you wish to have the lock continuously report its information to the server, you will place it into tracking mode. Be aware that the continuous reporting will drain battery life a lot faster than a normal reporting interval. If your lock has been breached, it will automatically go into tracking mode, and you can turn that off here. Now let's navigate to the wireless settings page. It is important to set up a wireless connection with your lock so that you will have a free data connection. Otherwise, your lock will use cellular data, which will charge a fee. Let's add a wireless profile to your lock. Click the plus icon to add a wireless profile. Type in your SSID and password here. Address field is optional but recommended. The benefit to typing this is to tie an address to your SSID for greater GPS positional accuracy. Notes are a descriptor field for information beyond the address. This will help you to identify one Wi-Fi from another. Now that we have our SSID and password entered, we do not need to enter them again for each lock. Find the lock that you would like to connect to this SSID and password combination and assign it by clicking Edit to the right of the lock number. Now find your Wi-Fi profile and click it to add. Each lock can store up to 5 Wi-Fi profiles. Now we have completed setup for this lock and this Wi-Fi profile. If you have many locks and you would like to assign your Wi-Fi profile to all of them, first select the locks, next select the Wi-Fi profile and click Assign. And you can see that the Wi-Fi profile has been assigned to all of your locks. It is important to note that after all the changes on the lock settings and the wireless settings pages, the settings will not immediately take effect. The changes will happen during the reporting interval or every 24 hours, whichever is less. So, if your lock was set to report every hour, this means we will wait up to an hour for the lock to check in and receive the new settings. If you need the changes to take effect immediately, you must invert the lock until the light turns green, which will then force it to update its settings. I hope this video was helpful to you to configure your lock settings and get your lock up and running. If you have any questions, please contact us at support@opticallock.com.